Atop a gun platform on Castle Elsinore, Officer Bernardo comes to relieve Sentinel Francisco of his watch duty for the night. As Francisco begins to leave, Horatio and Marcellus join the group, identifying themselves to Bernardo as loyal Danish subjects. Marcellus asks Bernardo if he has seen the ghost that roams the castle at night. He further explains that he has brought Horatio with him so that he may see the ghost.
What? Has this appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Before anything else can be said, the ghost suddenly appears, and it looks extremely similar to old Hamlet, the late king. Horatio tries to get it to speak to him, but it disappears just as soon as it came in.
Peace, break thee off, look, where it comes again. Thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio.
What art thou, that usurp this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak.
See, it stalks away.
Horatio is astounded to have seen the ghost of old Hamlet appear in front of him. Bernardo wonders aloud if the ghost is some type of bad omen for Denmark. Horatio shudders as he remembers the omens that warned Julius Caesar of his imminent demise.
In the high and most palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell, the grave stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets. Have heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climatures and countrymen?
The ghost suddenly reappears, and Horatio once again tries to speak to it. A rooster crows in the distance, and it once again disappears because ghosts cannot appear in the daylight. The three men then decide to inform Prince Hamlet of their sighting.
But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again. Speak to me, oh speak.
'Tis gone.
Let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet, for, upon my life, this spirit dumb to us will speak to him.
Let's do it, I pray, and this morning know, where we shall find him most conveniently.
Claudius, brother to the late King Hamlet, is now the new king after marrying the Queen Gertrude. Claudius and Gertrude married immediately after old Hamlet's funeral. Laertes asks Claudius for permission to return to France, and after a brief discussion with Polonius, who is Laertes' father, he allows Laertes to leave.
My dry lord, your leave and favor to return to Paris.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He has, my lord.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spended at thy will.
The king and queen then turn to Hamlet, who seems distraught by old Hamlet's death. The queen questions why Hamlet is so affected by the old king's death, and Hamlet snidely remarks about how the queen seems to be pretending to grieve for old Hamlet.
'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, together with all forms, modes, shapes of grief, that can denote me truly, these indeed seem. For they are actions that a man might play, but I have within which passeth show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe.
Hamlet then requests permission to go back to university in Wittenberg. Both the king and queen urge Hamlet to stay in Denmark rather than return to university. Hamlet unenthusiastically agrees.
You are the most immediate to our throne, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers. Hamlet, I pray thee, stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply.
Hamlet, alone with his thoughts, begins a soliloquy about not being able to commit suicide. He would kill himself right now if it were not a sin.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against self-slaughter, God, O God.
Horatio, Bernardo, and Marcellus enter the room and report to Hamlet about the ghost they saw last night. Hamlet then promises to join them for guard watch that night, so that he may see the ghost.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw? Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father. But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight.
We do, my lord.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
In the nobleman Polonius's house, his son Laertes is about to leave for France again. Before he leaves, Laertes takes some time to warn his sister Ophelia about her romance with Hamlet.
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and toy in blood, a violet in the use of prime nature, forward not permanent, sweet not lasting, the perfume and supplying of a minute, no more.
Polonius then enters and gives Laertes some advice on how to behave in Paris.
Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censor, but reserve thy judgment. Neither a borrower nor lender be. This above all, to thine own self be true. Thou canst not then be false to any man.
Once Laertes leaves, he then warns Ophelia that Hamlet may have dishonest and predatory intentions, and tells her to avoid him. She tries to defend their relationship, but eventually accepts his advice.
Hamlet hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Pooh! You speak like a green girl. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you slander any moment's leisure. As to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet, look to it, I charge you, come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
A day has passed since the first encounter with the ghost. Hamlet, Horatio, and Marcellus are standing on the battlements waiting for it to reappear. While they wait for the ghost, trumpets play in the distance. Hamlet then criticizes the king for his inclinations for wine and celebrations.
This heavy-headed revel east and west makes us traduced and taxed of each other's nations, but they clep us drunkards.
The ghost then suddenly appears, and Hamlet, seeing that the ghost did look like old Hamlet, begins to question it. It beckons him to follow, and despite his friend's warnings, he follows the ghost.
Look, with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground, but do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Hamlet follows the ghost to a private area on the parapet. Once they are alone, the ghost tells Hamlet that he is the spirit of old Hamlet, and then tells young Hamlet to listen to him carefully.
Lend thy hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
Revenge my most foul and unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
The ghost speaks quickly, because he can scent the morning. He tells Hamlet that Claudius had seduced the queen, and had poisoned him when he was napping. The poison had then killed old Hamlet so quickly that he had no time for absolution. The ghost then restates his demand that Hamlet avenge him. Before he leaves, the ghost tells Hamlet to not harm the queen in the process of revenge.
Howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. Adieu, 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 remember me.